In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my Ram 3500, how I got my truck, the situation that led me to this specific truck, and just wanted to go through that today with you and be able to share a few more things with you as well, what's going to be coming up in the future with the channel and things that are going to happen, so stay tuned. So I was able to make it back from Texas the other day and got that delivered, dropped off, and headed home. Along the way, I was thinking of the journey that I had. Well, really, that started with tragedy. To be honest, I had a 2005 Ford F350 long bed, single rear wheel, and I loved that thing. It was Lariat. It was loaded. It had everything. Had a plow. It had a fifth wheel already installed to it. Got it for I thought was a sweet deal, and turned out that was not really the case with the type of engine that was actually in there. I was using that truck from February 1st, 2016 until the end of February, beginning of March. And that's really when things kind of took a turn for the worse. I was driving all the way to Arizona. I was on a load, and I had a friend with me, and I had my dog with me too. His name was Big Al. He's passed on now, but I was on the way. We were going on a big long, road trip, delivering a big fifth wheel. I was excited, I was nervous, I was like, wow, this is the first big trip I've had across the whole country, wow, this is incredible. So I was going through Missouri, and I got to Rolla, Missouri. And I don't know if you've ever been through Missouri, but there are rolling hills, little step hills. And one of the places just west of Rolla, as I later found out, it's really this just steep incline, just crazy. I was going, in the F350 with the 6.0 engine, and we were just trucking up this crazy steep incline with the big fifth wheel in the back. I ended up at the top of the hill, having all sorts of lights flash, beeping at me. Really just didn't know what was going on. I was confused. I was kind of nervous, but I basically at the top of the hill was able to just kind of get off to the shoulder. And when that happened, I pulled off. Everything was going crazy. All sorts of noises. I'm like, oh dear, dude, I'm in trouble. So I popped the hood. I look underneath the truck, and I just hear it was just a gallon of water just being poured out. Just everything's coming out. Coolant's going everywhere. I'm like, oh man, dude, I'm in trouble. So being desperate, I thought, well, maybe I'll just put more coolant in and everything will be okay. It'll stop overheating, maybe, I don't know. That did not work. I ended up turning it off, calling a few people I know. They said, yeah, you're in deep trouble. You can't just do a little patch job. At the time, I had zero tools, had zero clue what I was doing, wouldn't have been able to even diagnose what was going on. Later, the tow truck driver came. It was an incredible bill with the truck and the fifth wheel to be hauled off the road, and I ended up being brought back through Rolla. Brought to a hotel because I figured, well, it's late at night. At this point, I'm in deep trouble. So we'll get this figured out later. But I had the fifth wheel hauled to the hotel, and then I had the truck hauled over to the Ford dealership. Which, again, if it happened again today and that was that situation, I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have taken to the dealership. That probably was a bad thing, but I ended up then calling him the next morning and saying, hey, I'm in trouble. I've got issues with my truck. It was just pouring out coolant. Can you help me? Tell me what's going on. Give me a price. What's the estimate? So at that point, I'm like, well, it's going to be bad. How bad is it going to be? And so they came back several days later. It was ridiculous before they could even give me an estimate. But they came back and said $9,000. The engine, the turbo, they said I needed head gaskets. The turbo got toasted. Basically, all the storms together just kind of collided. Boom. They said it was going to be, $9,000 to get it all done, and that was way for an 05 truck with, I think it had over 150, maybe close to 170 something thousand miles. They ended up saying, yeah, it's going to be 9,000. So I said, yeah, no, we're not doing that. What would you actually take for the trade-in? And they said 9 as it is, which left me hanging on my loan for it. But so anyways, I started looking around and saw this Ram. Had a buddy said, hey man, you don't want to have these issues with your engine, this major component. You need to get a Ram. You need to get a Dodge Ram, get that Cummins engine, and just make it happen. You just got to do it. Don't get a Ford. Don't get another Ford. That's when I really started researching, the Ford 6.0 engine, and boy, the internet is filled with a graveyard of stories of that engine just being shot to pieces. Just really been poor design, I'll say that. So saw that, I was just ignorant, had no idea about that, didn't even think to look, is this engine good? Is it transmission? I have no idea. Are these parts good or not? So I ended up going with this truck. This was the cheapest truck I could even find of a Ram. Everything was newer. This is the oldest one at the time, so it was in 2016, and this was the 2012, just a couple years, 4 years old. And so I just said, hey, let's just do this right. My original plan of buying an older truck and then just putting money into the parts and things, but a smaller loan, can that work out? I don't know, maybe, but for the 6.0 engine, I don't think so. Anyways, I ended up getting this in Missouri. It was 8 days, but I'm not counting. 8 days of sitting in a hotel room wondering, what's gonna happen. Like, I'm still responsible for getting this trailer across to Arizona. Like, I've got to still make this happen. Eventually, so on the 8th day, March 8th, I signed the paperwork. I got this Ram. This Ram was actually at another dealership in Missouri, a Ford dealership that they had, I guess, on a trade-in. And one owner before, they brought it over to the dealership closest to me in Rolla, and then I was able to sign the paperwork, pick it up. Hadn't even looked at it, haven't even seen it. Just a bunch of things that just was, wow, Daniel, what were you doing? You were just clueless. Sight unseen, I bought it, just off the pictures. And I wouldn't have even known what questions to ask about it. It was just, it was wild. But I was just going off of that Ram Cummins engine. Durability, it's going to be reliable. Since then, right after I got the Ram, I ended up then found out from my company that no, you can't actually stay on that load. We have to inspect your new truck and verify that it fits our requirements. So didn't ask that question either. So I wasn't even able to deliver to Arizona. I had to wait for somebody that day who actually was going through to come pick it up. And so they finished from Rolla all the way to Arizona and got it delivered under their responsibility from then on. But I just wanted to share that story with you from that kind of traumatic situation for me. All the money left on the Ford loan got plopped right on this loan, and it's been an incredible journey with just thinking, how am I going to make this? How is this even going to happen? The total price for the truck was $27,700 at the time, and then with the $9,000 left on my loan for the Ford, got plopped right on top of it. over 36,000 and some change, whatever it was. I just thought, man, this is impossible. How am I going to get this taken care of? How am I going to get this paid off? Slowly but surely over the last, over 3 years, I've just been chipping away at it, getting taken care of, and it's just been a process. For some of you guys, maybe you have a truck that's it's 37,000 itself, and you're wondering, how am I going to keep this thing going? I'm just here to tell you it is possible. Clearly, I'm putting a lot more miles on it than you are probably. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're a hauler. You haul things commercially as well. You're putting on crazy miles too. But just wanted to share that story with you of where I've come from. It is possible to get this thing taken care of all the way. I've got, I think it's just a little over 14,000 left on the loan that I've just been chipping away at as much as I can. And it's just been a process. It hasn't been pretty, but we're slowly getting down. We're getting taken care of, and the truck's still on the road. Hey, at the end of the day, wheels are still turning. I'm still making money, and so it's just been a huge journey for me. With that, I can just tell you, every time I drive through Rolla, when I'm going to Oklahoma or Texas or any place. This last trip, I obviously went through Rolla, Missouri, delivering to the top or northwest corner of Texas kind of area. I went through Rolla, Missouri, and every time I just drive through there, it's just kind of a reminder to me of my journey, all the miles I put on since I bought it at what was it, 79,000 something miles, and just the process. It's just been a long, exciting, just drawn out process that has just really been on my mind. That process, it's part of your story. Whatever you've gone through with your truck, the crazy situations you've been in where you come home and you're just like, man, how did I get through that? That's crazy. I've got those as well. And really from the beginning, it was kind of like, well, here you go, boom. This is what's going to happen. So just wanted to share that with you, why this really... It's just been kind of an emotional journey along the way, just very discouraging. Just, wow, how is this going to happen? I have no idea. Is there even a light at the end of the tunnel? I'm here today to tell you, after I've learned so many things, I've learned what questions to ask. I've learned what not to do, what you should do in many areas. Obviously not everything, but it's just been such a journey of growth and really changing and growing and learning what I need to be doing, what I shouldn't be doing, and I just want to be encouragement to you. You can get through this process. You're paying it down. You're taking care of stuff. You're replacing parts that, man, I have no idea what do I do with this. This is outside my comfort zone. That last video I made, if you haven't watched that, check it out. Talking about fear, and with that fear, that's just going to be a process where you're learning to kind of embrace it and just go forward into it, even though it's scary, even though you're trying to figure out new things on your truck you haven't touched before. That's something where you're gonna get victory over that. You're gonna approach it all these times. Each time fear just rears up. So that's really what this whole channel is about, is to help you as you're growing and your understanding of your truck, what you're doing, your process, your journey on your way to as many miles as you can get. Again, mine's to 1,000,000 miles, but I really think that it is important to take the time to actually think through these things, talk through where you've started from, where you're at now, and where you see yourself in the future with your truck. If you're building your truck, you're trying to do a bunch of upgrades, trying to do several things to it. Document that journey, man. Take pictures, take videos. As you're learning, just think about, man, a year ago I didn't have a clue. 6 months ago, man, I could only do this, and this, and now, wow, here I am now today. And so just wanted to share that process where it all started with the Ram Cummins engine in the truck. So that's really what I've done. I've tried to document my journey from the beginning to where I'm at now, where I can see, man, here's this. These are things that I couldn't do, I wouldn't have even dreamed of, and now here I am. This is something where you can enjoy the process of it, It's going to be a long process. It is what it is, but I'm just excited to be able to share that story with you. Every time I drive through Raleigh, it's just, man, this is where I was at over 3 years ago. You know, and just seeing the process as the years go by, that it's just really encouraging to me to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, whether paying off your truck, if it's crazy money, getting things replaced, learning and growing. Just keep going, keep going. Don't stop that learning, the asking questions, figuring things out. How does this work? Oh, it's right here. It's just really cool to see that process, and hope you're doing well. Other things I wanted to share with you real quick is I am actually in the process of buying a house. And so this house you see in the background, you've seen in several other videos, that is not actually, this isn't my house. This is a family member's house. And I am going through the process of getting a home. And so videos for that to come. Really pumped about it, really excited. First time buying a house, and I'm sure it's just going to be, you know, crazy, all that you can, you know, think or dream of. But so I will have a two-door garage with that, and it's a little interesting, the garage setup. For whatever reason, these people just made it different. And so excited to be able to share that with you, and curious what you think about that. At some point here, I'll be getting possession of the home when we close. So when I do take possession of the home, I'm going to be able to show you guys, show you the garage, show you my setup, what I'm going to all I want to do. And maybe you can give me some pointers, give me some ideas. What have you done in your garage? I'm wanting to have air. I'm wanting to have all my tools laid out, set to go. Be sure to email me on my on the email pictures that you've got. I definitely want to put some of your guys's your pictures, what you got going on in your setup, all of your inventory of everything you've got, you know, set up for your truck. I'm curious about that. Share that with me. I'll probably put them in the video if I'm able to. So let me know what you're actually doing in your garage. What kind of setup do you have? What does your inventory kind of look like? Definitely curious to see what your whole setup is. This is gonna be the first time for me actually having my own garage. This garage is filled up way beyond. So really excited to share that news with you. Still not completed. By September 9th, I believe, is the actual close date for the new house with the garage, and just really looking forward to that. It's just been such a journey with that as well. Getting this property. It's just been miracles along the way. So let me know down in the comments below. How did you get your truck? Did you trade it in at a dealership? Did you buy a guy down the street? Did you get it through a tragedy of another vehicle? What happened with you? Where did you start your process, and where are you at in paying it off, and upgrades and ideas that you have for what things you want to do? Let me know on that. I'm definitely going to be corresponding with you back and forth about those things. I'm curious what you've done with yours. And again, this whole channel is about helping you, us helping each other, being a group of people who we're going through this journey, this process together, getting to as many miles as possible, trying to get the reliability, the how-to videos, all these things on purpose, so that we can then go forward, going down the road, keep it rolling. So until next time, hope you're doing well. Like and subscribe, hit the bell notification again, and just really excited for the future. One other thing. There's a few things that are unfortunately coming up. I'll be able to have much more content. My front end has some more things that need to be done, and we're going to be replacing a few things that have really let me down. The people who made the parts for these things, I'm really not happy with them. So we will be, when money is available, we are going to be doing some more major how-to videos on a few things that you may be interested. Maybe you already know how to do it, but just wanted to help you if you haven't done that already, and to kind of steer you away from some problematic things that I've gone through with that. And until next time, stay safe, keep up that maintenance, and we'll talk to you later. God bless.